Hello. You are crazy. You want me to start?
Sure. Welcome to this podcast.
Yes.
We just decided to do this since we're locked up in here for quarantine. Why not do something positive, I guess, or whatever? So we're going to tell our story through a few episodes.
Yeah. It was interesting because the thank you video that we put out, it got like a really good response.
Yeah.
Like over 11,000, not 11,000. We putting this in the air that 11,000 people gonna watch this, but like 1,000 people watched it. And so we got a lot of comments like, y'all should do another video or something. So it was like, yeah, we're locked up together.
Sure.
So why not? Like Brandon said, we wanted to do something positive. And so this webisode, or I don't know what you want to call it, it's called Meet the Brewingtons. So that's us.
Yep.
Brandon and Jess. So, yeah. You want to start off?
Sure, I'll start off. So I'm Brandon Brewington. I'm a musician in the Atlanta area. Travel with a few artists. Also the music director at my church. I like to read. I like movies. I like all types of music. Like I'm just like all over the place, but I'm a real introvert though. Like I like to be in my own little house by myself, chill. You know, now that I got Jessica, my wife, it's like, all right, cool. I'm real cool now. Like I don't need anything else. So yeah, that's pretty much it about me.
I was about to say you are a true homebody.
I am definitely a true homebody. You see, if I'm not out traveling for work or if I'm not doing anything like work related, I'm mostly at the house. And I'm actually loving this quarantine a little bit. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because when we first started dating, like we were out all the time. And I remember you telling me that you were a homebody. But we were like at restaurants and movies and ice skating.
Because I knew she liked that. Like I didn't want to be like that closed off guy. Like I knew I was an introvert. I've always been an introvert. And so I didn't want to be like that homebody that didn't like to explore or do anything like that. Like, nah, I love theme parks. Like I will go to a thing. I've been to plenty of theme parks by myself. I like amusement parks.
Yeah, I don't at all. But I did go that one time. I took you for your birthday.
That one time, yeah, but I scared you half to death. But
I did it. But I'm Jessica Brewington, and a little bit about me. Where do I start?
Did you go to school?
I went to school at Valdosta State. I am not originally from Georgia. I was born in Ohio on an Air Force base. My dad's in the military. He was in the military. And then we moved to North Carolina and then moved to Georgia. So I was raised here, but I was not born here. And I want everybody to know that I am not from Georgia. I'm from Ohio.
Well, I guess same here. I was actually born in North Carolina.
Yeah.
But I was raised in Georgia. I moved here when I was 7. So yeah, it's been a journey here, but I loved it though. Love it.
Yeah, Georgia's cool, but you know, it's not Ohio. Anyway, so I went to Redan High School from the east side. You from the what side? You don't know?
I think south. South side.
Wherever Union Grove.
South side.
From the east side, I have something that I'm really passionate about is leadership and communication. And so I've been in leadership since probably about 15. I think I was the youngest leader at my church. And I started the step ministry, I started leading the step ministry. I've always been in leadership like at school, and just leadership is my thing, even at work. So work, I'm a communication specialist at Porsche Cars North America. So love it there. Work on culture, and I do a lot of trainings and tons of traveling. That's one thing that Brandon and I have in common. Like we both travel a lot.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about how that impacts our relationship later. But yeah, we have a dog. That's our little boy, Channing. He's over there asleep, so I'm sure he will peep his way in at some point. What else? I love movies. Brandon loves music more than movies. I love movies more than music. Yeah. And if there was one thing that I used to want to be, it's a NASCAR driver. Did you know that about me?
Really?
Yes.
That explains the driving.
Shut up.
That explains the driving. Oh my gosh.
She's looking at Jazz because she over there and she's like, yeah.
That explains it. Like, okay. That makes total sense. I used to want to be a basketball player.
That explains it. That explains all the hours at the gym when he says he's working out and he's playing basketball.
Anyway.
So yeah, that's a little bit about us.
Yeah. I mentioned that I'm the music director at my church. I've been at this church for 11 years now. Been the MD for 10 years. It's been amazing. I kind of started there when I started filling in a little earlier. I was probably about 18, 19 years old. And about 20 years old, I was kind of hired as the organist at the church, and then I moved to music director probably about a year and a couple of months after that. So needless to say, I've been there ever since then. And I think along down the road, I met a few friends.
Just a few.
You know, I met a few friends while I was there. Started hanging out with a few people, and a couple of those friends were friends with this girl named Jessica. Now, I didn't know Jessica at the time, and I think they all became deacons. That's what happened. They all became deacons.
We were friends before that, but we got really, really cool once we all became deacons. Yes, that's true.
So we started to kind of get together and whatnot, and the next thing I know,
I'm so interested to see how you're going to tell this story.
Next thing I know, she all up on me like, "Ooh, Brandon, you know, I really wish that you would be mine." I'm just playing. Nah,
anybody who knows me knows that not happen.
Yeah, nah, she didn't do that. She came out with another dude and did it. But No.
Pause. Time out. So one thing about our series is you're gonna get like the raw, unedited Jessica and Brandon, and we're gonna be very honest and transparent because one thing, relationships are not perfect. And you're going to go through some stuff. You're going to make some mistakes, but you're going to have to work through them. Another thing that we forgot to say at the beginning, we are married, but this series is really about our dating stages because we've been married for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And so we aren't in a position to be giving you advice on that because that's not, our expertise. But we dated successfully, and so that's where we're really talking about and letting you all in on. So go ahead with your story.
Anyway,
I did it with another dude.
A friend of ours asked, I think they asked each of us individually as well what we thought about each other, and eventually one thing led to another, and so I was headed to my parents' house one day, and I actually FaceTimed her out of nowhere just to check up on her, just to see what she was going to do. I honestly didn't think she was going to answer. But she answered, and she answered quite surprised.
Because we hadn't ever communicated one-on-one, ever.
That was the first time.
Not like in public, not on the phone, not via text. It was always group conversations.
Yep. So once we did that, I think we set up a nice little date at Yard House, but she was late for y'all. She was... Oh, I don't even remember how late she was. It was like a good 30 minutes. It was after 30 minutes, though. I definitely remember that. It was either 30 or 45 minutes. But she was good and late, y'all.
And anybody who knows Brandon knows that
I would have left.
Not like
I would have left.
Wait. He likes everything to be on time. That's even why at our wedding he was like, "Listen, if you not coming down the aisle at 6:30, I'm not. I'm leaving."
Yeah, nah, she just, I don't know what the problem was, but she apologized. Went
Yeah.
on, went on a few more things, a few more dates after that, and yeah, next thing you know, she was
what?
She was just there. She was just there.
Jasmine, this is. She's there?
Nah, I wouldn't say there. Nah, God placed there in my life. I'm extremely grateful.
That's sincere.
Okay. It was.
Is it my turn to tell my side of the story?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Were you done?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my side is, yes, Brandon worked at the church that I grew up in. I was away at school when he came, so I didn't really know him, but I knew when I came back, he was there, and it was just like, oh, that person who was there is not there, and Brandon's here. Okay. I don't even think I really knew his name, because I was, like, home for the weekend and back at school, whatever. So it wasn't until I became a deacon, but I do remember Brandon being really mean to me. Like, anytime we would, because we had, like, I knew everybody at the church, and so he was friends with people who I knew. So anytime I was around, it was kind of like he had, like, this attitude, or he was like, why is she here? Like, that's always the vibe that I got from him. He told me, yes, that is true, because he thought I was bougie. That's not right.
Wait.
He thought I was bougie. So I don't think your preference. We'll say that. So anyway, become a deacon. Whitney, one day so we always hung out at Kat's house because she was right by the church. So
that's
we always
another
hung
friend
there.
of ours.
Hey, Kat. So thank you for always welcoming your home to us. We would always hang out at Kat's house, but one particular time, it was like, oh, why don't we go to Brandon's? And I was like, well, why are we going all the way over there? Because we all stay on the east side, and he stays in Africa. Why are we doing that? So Whitney was like, well, I'll drive. Just get in the car with me. So I'm in the car, and she just, we're casually driving to Brandon. She's like, well, have you ever thought about dating Brandon? I was like, huh? Like, what? Because we're all cool at this point.
She ain't like me.
So
She ain't like me.
I told Whitney, no, I had never thought about it, but I actually had. But I didn't tell anybody that. Because I think we were both in situations, and so I never really expressed it.
I was coming out of mine.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, we were both in situations, and so we never expressed it. But we were genuinely friends. And so, as a friend, I thought Brandon would be a good guy for any woman who he chose to date. And I told him that. I told our friends that. And so it was, it did cross my mind, like, he's a really good guy. Like, what would it be like? So after that, like, we pulled up to the house, and I thought it was going to be super awkward because now she had just kind of put it out there, like, what about Brandon? And so, but everything was cool. And I think after that, we went on dates. We were always making excuses to see each other. I think the finals was on, so we were always watching a game somewhere.
Believe it.
Literally every day we were out on a date. And I think you told your mom, like, I don't remember dating being this expensive. Because we were out every day. Dating. So, that's how we met. Brandon knew it from the moment he saw me, and that's why he was mean to me. Where's the lie?
Sure. We'll go
Whatever.
with it.
Anyway,
We'll
that's
go
our
with
story.
Yeah, so I guess that really kind of takes care of how long we've known each other.
Yeah.
Kind of known each other formally since, 2016 maybe?
Yeah.
17, 18.
I will say 18, because that video you found the other day, that was from 2018.
So we've known each other since 2018?
Yeah. Like, cool. Hanging out guys. Yeah, 2018.
How long we dated? So
First, do you want to tell them how we started dating? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
How it happened?
So we were at this little hole in the wall down the street from my house. It's this bar that I go to. It was real chill. Just watch the game, chill out, And so I brought Jessica with me. And we called our good friends, Kat and Whitney. So we called him up. Hey, we're going to go to Reds. You know, you want to stop through.
He's forgetting a really major detail. It was a week of your birthday.
Oh yeah, it was the week of my birthday.
So we were starting off pre-gaming.
Right.
At the bar.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So we get to the bar, we all chilling and whatnot. So Red comes up. This is one of the waitresses. She comes up. So what are y'all? Because by this time, Jessica's been there a few times now. Yeah. She's been there with me because we watched the game. So, so we are. What are we doing at this time? We're chilling at this point, and Red comes up and she's like, "Hey, so what are y'all at this point?" And so in my mind, I'm like, "Well, I'm not dating anybody. I'm not dating anybody else. She's not dating anybody else. Guess we're kind of dating exclusively." So
he didn't ask me.
Yeah,
nothing.
I just
we together.
It's kind of like figure, like, well, I mean, at this point, we had kind of been together since like April-ish, May by that time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it had been a couple of months while we kind of like seeing each other.
So he just made it exclusive, didn't talk to me about it, just we together. And I was like, oh yeah, we're together. It
ain't like she was gonna decline it. I mean, clearly.
Guess not. So yeah, we dated and so the date was June 25th. Is our date 2018. Yeah, 2018. And then we got engaged October 31st, 2019. And then we got married March 7th, 2020. So I think this gentleman knew what he was doing. You knew what you wanted.
Like Drake said, God's plan.
No, for real. Because even before we started dating, you told all of us one day when we were just chilling, having communion. You were like, 30 is my settle down year.
Yeah.
You were like, when I'm 30, I want to settle down. I want to stop playing and I want to be serious. And that's...
Yeah, and it kind of like hit before that because I was just kind of tired. Life was boring before you got here.
Now you're stuck. What's next? We have an agenda.
Let's see how long we dated. So, living together before marriage. We're just going to touch on it.
Yeah, just... and then back out of there.
Yeah, living together before marriage.
You want me to start?
Sure.
Okay. So, both of our parents are, first of all, we're Christian. Let's just put that out there. Both of our families are truly committed to the church. So are we. And so when they kind of found out that we were living together, they both parties advised against it. Like, I don't need to be shacking.
Well, let's back up a little bit because it didn't, just like the when I asked her to be my girlfriend, it was kind of like the same situation. Like, it just kind of happened. We didn't necessarily plan it. It just so happened to be, well, I lived in McDonough and she lived in Stone Mountain at the time. And by the time we were done, you know, we get done with dating and all of this stuff. And the night is like really late. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I didn't want her to drive that late back home, especially in the car that she had. It wasn't the best car to be on the road at night. It was a pretty dangerous car. So
it wasn't. I shouldn't have been driving at night. But you know, when you're in those early stages of dating, you don't want the date to end. So you talk forever. You just stay up. You know, stuff like that. So
yeah, and it just so happened to just kind of happen continuously.
Yeah.
And so we just kind of like.
And then I think it was over like December break. over like the Christmas break, I get time off, so I get like a week off.
Oh yeah.
And so I was just literally like staying over. So yeah, both of our parents were like, y'all shouldn't be shacking.
Against it. They were
and every time they saw us, they had something to say about it. Oh, so y'all still shacking? Oh, y'all shacking?
Her mama would never call the place home.
So every time I would leave from seeing my mom, she would be like, I said, so I'm about to go home. Oh, to Brandon's house? No, home.
And she kept that up until the day we got married.
Until the day we got married. And then she said, where you going? Home? I said, yes, mother. Yes. So, yeah, they didn't agree with it. I think for us, we talked about it. We understood, what we were doing. And we just really wanted, and we're not advising anybody to do this. This is just our story. We're telling our story. We just wanted to make sure that we could live together before getting married. Because for both of us, divorce wasn't an option. We were going into this saying that this is it. And so, after the day, our honeymoon was at home. And so when we came home, it wasn't like, oh my God, he does this. I knew it because we had been living together. So
yeah, I think and we kind of think it's important, but
for us,
right? It was important for us. I don't know about anybody else's relationship, and we're not encouraging it. However, the transition was very easy for us because we did do that. And I know a lot of people kind of started having problems a little early because of that. However, it's not our story. So,
and I will say, as a woman, I was more comfortable with it because I knew that he had a plan. And I told him when I moved in, I was like, listen, what's the goal? Like, what are we working towards? Because if you can't tell me what we're working towards, which is marriage, then I'm not moving in so that I become this wife figure in the home, and you're used to that, and then it's just like we're just playing a role. You know what I'm saying? And so I felt comfortable in it because I knew we had a plan. I knew marriage was the goal, and we were taking active steps to get there. So it wasn't just like, because I had never lived with a man before. In all of my relationships, I've never lived with a man. But when Brendan and I talked about it, it was like, listen, marriage is what I want, and these are the steps that I'm taking to get there. And so I felt more confident in that it wasn't just like, oh, I'm just moving in and just play this role.
Right. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We kind of touched on everything that we wanted to talk about in this segment. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, share it, like it, do whatever.
Comment, let us know.
Yeah, we're just trying it out. Trying to do something different out there since we all quarantined and that. And make your own TV show. Well, so there it is.
See y'all later. Deuces.